And
hi everybody, it's me, Lori, with What She Shed. Everybody, I'm so happy tonight because I have 2 guests, not 1. Remember I told you I was going to do a talk show? Boom, here we are. Okay, tonight on my show, the very first show ever, to interview someone for real in my backyard is...
Chris Pogue. I am Chief Information Security Officer at a cybersecurity company called Nuix, based out of Sydney, Australia.
Can you hear us, Mr. Cameraman? Okay, and you are?
Nicole Anderson, and I am the Strategic Project Manager for his team at Nuix.
Okay, so the name of the company is Nuix. Hello. The name of the company is Nuix. And so what happened is I work another fun job, and we were talking about shopping and holiday shopping, and I was complaining about how I even get packages stolen off my front porch, and you order something off Amazon.Prime or something, and you get a package delivered, and that's on your front porch, okay? And it gets stolen, and it's like super makes me mad. So then we got to have a big rigmarole. Now you got to go the old-fashioned way. The other thing is, talking to Chris at church, and he's like, guess what I am? I'm a hacker. Wait, are you a hacker?
I was.
He was a hacker. I'm like, you're a hacker? Like Born Identity? I'm like, oh my goodness, you're coming on the show. So then we find out that he and his company, or the company, strategizes. They strategically are going to teach us tips on how not to get, well, actually how to protect yourself when you're shopping online. Because that's a big thing right now. And I know there's LifeLock out there, but LifeLock, we're going to talk about that, right, Chris?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what we want to break it down, because these are my listeners. You got to know your audience. I'm sorry, everybody. My cameraman's like doing hand signals like Oprah. Okay, you got to know your audience. So what we're going to do, cameraman Scott, if I get any hearts or any likes or anyone says hi, then you need to shout out the name so we can say hi to them, okay?
well, I know that Irma's with us, Cheryl,
Hi, Irma.
Manasco, Haley. We had a bunch of hearts come up.
Okay.
Cheryl Manassas, Lenard's just joined as well. And
Okay.
Michelle Pogue is with us.
Hey.
Michelle, we're here.
Okay.
So, periodically, Scott, you can just say the name. We'll say, hi, Cheryl, hi, so-and-so. That's what we're going to do, okay? He's like goofing up all my childhood friends' names because he doesn't know. All right, okay. Back to the show. Chris.
Yes.
I don't know if it's 1 easy tip, 5 easy tips, or 25. We got all night. It's my show.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding. Okay. I want you to, if you could, what are the top tips that people need to know about in this holiday season and actually their whole life? But what are the top tips?
So we're gonna go with 5 because 5 are easy. Right? Everyone can remember 5.
Got it.
But just by way of background, Nicole is non-technical, so she's going to be my translator.
Yeah.
Because I am deeply technical, and sometimes I get in the nerd weeds, and I need someone to pull me back.
That's me. I am super technical, like some people. Hey, cameraman. Are you filming me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm super technical. Like people at work, a lot of times think of me as basically like the technology genius.
Yeah, so I do too. I mean,
No, that's
I see
not
you and
true. I
think
can't even
that.
upload my pictures of the cloud. Okay.
Okay, so just by way of background, I've been doing this for close to 20 years, investigating computer crimes all over the world. I've got a little more than 2,500 investigations. That's 2,500 that I've either conducted or oversaw.
Oh my goodness.
So I've been doing this a long time. This is a multi-trillion-dollar industry.
Love it.
That is run by, believe it or not, by organized crime overseas. So this is not kids in basements. This is, no kidding, Eastern European cyber criminals.
This is serious.
Serious days.
In fact,
Yes.
this is the jurisdiction of the U.S. Secret Service. That's how serious this is.
How can I get on with this company?
Okay.
No, okay, back to you.
Different story.
And folks, doesn't she look like Nikki on Born Identity? For real? Like Nikki. Okay, now back to the tips.
Sure. So what we're going to talk about are 5 things you can do as a consumer
As a consumer,
to keep yourself safe for the holiday shopping season.
got it.
Okay.
And they're super easy. They're super easy tips.
Yes.
Anybody can do them.
Yes.
This is not going to be crazy difficult.
Right.
It's going to be awesome.
So
That's
number
the
1,
transition.
and then
Yes.
we're going to go back and forth, and we're just going to,
Okay.
because Nicole actually just wrote a blog post about this that is going to be on nuix.com/blog that everyone can go and read after the show.
Nuix.com/blog. Okay,
Easy
got
enough.
it.
Yeah.
So first one is use a credit card when you're shopping, not a debit card.
What?
And here's why.
Okay.
When attackers steal your credit card numbers, they sell those on the black market. Buyers will buy them all over the world, and then they will subsequently use them fraudulently. So now, when fraud occurs, okay, if it's your debit card, guess what?
They are right into my bank immediately.
Right
Yes.
into your bank.
Ah, the joke's on them. I'll have $4 in there.
So all $4 are gone. But
Dang it.
if
Okay.
you shop with a credit card and the number's stolen, the credit card companies can reverse those transactions
Right.
just numerically.
And that's when you could get like a
Yes.
phone that says, hey, are
Yes.
you in Russia buying a babushka hat? And you're like,
Yes.
no, I'm not.
Right.
Okay, got
Unless
it.
you're me, and then you might be in Russia. But
So Bobby Clark's joined us.
Bobby,
Keith
Bobby,
Chrissy,
watch.
Keith
Okay.
Bracken, and Colin Postier.
Sweet.
Postier.
We got some dudes here. So
Hi,
that's
Colin.
number
Hi,
one tip.
Melanie.
Okay.
Credit cards, not debit cards.
Okay,
Okay.
number one tip, folks, we're giving tips on how not to get hacked this holiday season is don't use a debit card like I always do. I cannot
Online.
believe that.
Yeah.
Use a credit card.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can do that online or in store. I mean, like if you're going to like what he calls a brick and mortar store. He might use that terminology. It means like if you're just going to run over to Target and
Like
get something.
Target. Okay.
That's called a brick
Or
and mortar
Rustica.
store.
That's brick and
Or
mortar.
Rusticuff, we love.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Number two.
Number
Tip
two.
number two.
Number two, if at all possible, use cash. If you have cash that you're planning on spending, don't use your debit, like you just said. Get that cash out and use cash everywhere you go because cash cannot be hacked or tracked.
And
Cash
cash
cannot
is
be hacked.
king. Cash is king.
Cash is king.
And if you walk into some stores and using cash, I mean, this is just kind of a buyer tip. Most of the time, you can negotiate. If you have cash
Hey.
for big items,
Let me tell you something. If you're at Target, you can say, hey, mister, this has a scratch on it. Would you take some off? They'll take money off. Like, I feel like this season, if you want to get some deals,
Yeah.
now's the time.
Well,
We're
in
fine. We're fine.
Target a few years ago, right? If you everyone remember, right around the holiday season, starting with Black Friday, ending at the end of the year, Target was hacked. It was the largest hack
And do
that
you know
had
where
ever
it
taken
was?
place.
Johnson City, Tennessee, where we live. Did you know that?
Nope.
Or
Oh,
what
crap.
was?
The hack.
It was every Target everywhere.
40,
Okay.
40 million users were
Okay,
hacked.
I'm sorry. Hold on. My facts are like true and they're not. Okay, where it happened in Johnson City was one of the major ones when they made the biggest dent.
That is possible, the financial impact, but the actual hack itself took place in Target headquarters in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Boom. Hey, Chris, a little tip. If you're on my show, just agree.
Yes.
No, I'm just
Okay.
kidding. Okay. Number three. What's the number three tip?
Okay, so tip number 3, we already said use cash if you can. Use a credit card, not a debit card. Also, we have great alternative payment terms now, or payment devices options. You've got Apple Pay, you have Google Pay, you've got Amazon. So anytime you can use what's called a third-party provider, it is not your debit card or credit card. It's not cash. It's someone who is hosting all of that information.
Like a
for you.
PayPal?
Yes.
Like PayPal. That's a
Yes.
third-party app.
Apple
that
Pay,
handles-
don't have a clue. PayPal I got. Square. What about Square?
Square is a point-of-sale processing software. It allows someone to make purchases. It's no more
Yeah.
or less
Okay.
secure
That's just
than any
something
of
that
those.
business
No
uses.
wonder that's not working for me. Okay.
So, Apple Pay, Google Pay, Android Pay, PayPal, third-party apps, right, use what's called tokenization. So
Yes.
it's not actually your card number, it's a representation of the card number.
Yes. Which
Okay,
is a
yeah.
little scary, but we'll go with it. Okay,
Yeah, so
now.
Apple, let me just simplify that a little bit. So Apple Pay is great. I use Apple Pay all the time. And Apple Pay is you give them your card number to Apple, and you can upload your card number on there, and they host that card number, and they give businesses a different number to say, hey, this represents
Yes.
Nicole's card, and you can charge it, and we'll back it. And then they go to my bank and take it, not that vendor who could give it to everybody else.
What
So,
is that called?
Hey, just
What
as a
is that?
note, Chris Hoplip's joined.
Chris Hyslop's on my.
Irma
Chris.
and Dave, Irma Rivera and Dave Ramsey, or she joined.
Dave Ramsey's
Like,
watching
no,
you?
No, Irma Rivera joined. Said Dave Ramsey said that too about cashes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm
Yes.
thinking, oh my gosh, Dave Ramsey! Oh, tell myself, okay, Ramsey.
Okay, sorry to interrupt. And yes, tell people we are in the she shed because there've been a couple.
We're in the
questions.
she
Oh, yes,
shed,
we
everybody.
are.
Scott,
It's
panic
super
just a
awesome.
little bit.
Okay.
Now, show them how I need my electrical fixed. Just a little bit, Scott, because it's not so adorable right now because I need my
Super
electrical.
cute.
Okay, now you can
Don't
stop.
touch that.
I'm
Don't
sure it's
touch
code.
that.
That's code, right?
It's not code. I'm going to be in trouble. Okay, it's messed up now.
Doesn't have a
Okay,
keyboard
so we're on
attached.
number 4.
Okay, number 4, the tip.
Okay, so to recap, use third-party payment apps,
Third-party payment apps.
right?
Use cash.
Use cash.
Use some tokenization.
No, that's
No,
a third-party payment
third-party
apps.
Oh, credit.
Credit cards, not debit cards.
Credit cards, not debit cards.
Number 4,
The next one, try your best to use reputable online sites like Amazon or, I mean, like Target. Target has much better security now since they were hacked, 3 years ago. Okay, sites that you know are actual businesses. Little boutique sites can be questionable, and I know it's so much fun to go on those little boutique sites.
Like
and
Etsy?
no, Etsy is a good site because they have good, because they go through like a third
Oh,
party.
okay, I know what it is. It's like the ones that I go on Facebook. I'm like, oh,
Yes.
those clothes are adorable.
Yes, like,
oh,
oh,
let me
look at
go
this cute
through
blanket
that. I
scarf.
love
Let me
that
buy
striped
this.
shirt with a reindeer on it that
Yes.
says, I'm freaking Mary.
Yes.
And then I go on there and like, what?
It's like somebody's personal site. Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
And then I use Scott's debit card, and it's like, oh, we're hacked. Okay,
Yes,
go ahead.
exactly.
And then I have to assume a new identity because he's mad that I used his card.
Yes. And then
Okay.
if you're going to shop at brick and mortar stores, try your best to make sure that they have that chip and pin technology. Have you seen your card yet that has a
I
little square?
have the chip card.
Okay. Target does have the chip and pin capabilities. I know that Sprouts does. I don't know if you're planning on making baked goods for your friends this year, but go to Sprouts. They have chip and pin
I mean, what are you
technology.
going to give him? Kale? Kale in a Christmas tin?
Oh, no, they sell cookies there.
Feels delicious.
Okay,
Don't
just
worry.
checking. Sugar-free, probably
Well,
sugar-free cookies.
And to break it down, right, so the technical geekness, that's called
Yes.
EMV. It stands for Europay MasterCard Visa.
Oh my goodness,
And
EMV.
what that does is it's a secondary protocol that's used to identify that card during authorization. So instead of just swiping your card, which is called MagStripe, which is literally 50-year-old technology,
50.
the rest of the
50.
world is on chip and pin. The United
Right.
States being the largest consumer
Right.
environment in the world, we sort of dictate our own terms. But
Yeah.
we are all now rolling to chip and pin, which is that authentication mechanism.
Okay,
that's
I
stronger
feel like
than-
if
So
I-
real quick, everybody wave to Tammy Taylor. We've got
Tammy,
Deborah
my
Lewis
cousin.
Wimpy, Jamie Birdsong,
Deborah, we're doing tips.
and Richard Waite has joined us as well.
Richard, come on my show.
Okay.
Okay, here's the tips. And here's what I think about the EMV. I feel like if I'm at Target and I'm talking to the kid that's at the cashier say, excuse me, sir, do you have EMV technology? He's going to be like,
No,
what?
you say, do you have chip cards? Can you take my
Right,
chip
I know.
card?
Yeah, and he'll say chip card.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing about the chip card, folks, and I'm going to tell you something. It used to be the good old days where you just put your card and go, doo-doo-doo, done. You didn't have to think about anything. You weren't prompted. It had yes, hit no, hit sign, put your pin in. That's gone because that's easily hacked.
Mhm.
Now you got to put your chip card in, wait. They prompt you, ma'am, please hit your pin. It's a whole rigmarole, but it saves you getting hacked.
Yeah, and I mean,
You can,
you know,
yes.
2 minutes
Go for
of
it.
sitting there doing things versus losing a bunch of money.
Okay, so basically,
So Julia Wiggs said, "Good tips. I hate chip cards because they take so long to process."
I hate chip cards too.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, folks. We're really our spoiled society because we get frustrated. Like, oh my goodness, come on, hurry up with the chip card. But think about it. Laura Ingalls, which is my hero, you guys, they had to whittle their Christmas presents. They had to knit it. They had to like loom it. I don't know how to make a loom. They had to do things that were old-fashioned and took a very long time for Christmas gifts. We're mad that we have to wait 1 minute, right, to get
Yeah.
our Christmas
I'm cool
present.
with-
It's really the challenge that security professionals have to deal with is everyone wants stuff now, right? This is the microwave. This is Amazon Alexa. This is I just want to pull up my phone and I'm going to get an answer, right? So we're
Right.
literally walking around with 1,000,000 times more powerful computers in our pockets than put a man on the moon, right? So the entire
That is kind of mind-blowing.
it is
Go
the
ahead.
entire base of human technology, from the first cave paintings to this She Shed episode, are all in our hands. And so we're a very instantly focused culture.
Yes.
But security adds a layer in there that we're just not used to and we're not accustomed to. And so security professionals have to have this battle sort of constantly all over the world with balancing productivity and efficiency with security. And so yes, it's an extra 30 seconds taken out of your life, but think about what it would take you to cancel your card, to get a new card issued, to go to forget every site. Like I forgot when I had my card compromised, I forgot that my debit card was tied to my Pike Pass. And so I'm driving through Pike Pass.
Okay,
and I
like
get
you
this-
forgot, and you're
Yeah.
a major hacker.
So there's
Yeah.
hundreds of them that are tied to your cards that you have to take. So that extra 30 seconds, extra minute maybe, doesn't seem so bad when you
Here's
look at
the
it.
point.
In,
Here's the point. It's at what price is annoyance? How far do you want to be annoyed? A little bit annoyed at the thing, or the debit. I mean,
I'm having to work.
Mhm.
pay
the
it for
checkout,
later.
or the annoyance of sitting on the phone and dealing with everybody. I don't want that annoyance.
I don't want
I'm
that
done.
either.
I'd have to move to a third world country, on an island, just to not be annoyed anymore. Okay, now we're going to do the
Number 5.
fifth and final.
the fifth and final.
Yep, number
Okay,
5.
It's
Number
Nicole.
5. Okay.
everybody, if you're
And
bored,
before we get to that
if you're
one,
bored, just eat some popcorn and keep watching.
Lorraine Dobbs has joined
Lorraine,
us.
Lorraine,
Amy
hello.
Toolsey, Cheryl Manis Lenards. She
Sherry,
said that Laura
Cheryl.
Ingalls is her hero as well.
Yeah, she's my hero too.
And then, yeah, right. There we go. And then Michelle Pogue said, so true. So,
Okay, so
So
fifth
true.
tip.
That's right,
Fifth
Michelle.
tip.
Fifth tip, and this one is super non-technical, and this is probably the easiest
Thank
one.
goodness. Okay.
Okay, everybody right now needs to get out their phone and set an alarm for like sometime during the day. Set it and say, check your bank account. And do this every day until the end of December and possibly through the middle of January. to check to see if there's been any fraudulent charges. Because during this time, we are buying, we're swiping,
Okay,
we're going. Check your account, check your credit card accounts, check your stuff all the time. Because you are the biggest firewall to your own personal stuff.
Yeah, my
taking the
bank,
time.
I'm on Arvest, y'all. I have an app. It automatically tells me, like,
Okay.
every time a transaction's
Good.
made.
That's
It
excellent.
gets, and I get not an email, but I get something on my phone to swipe it. I'm like, okay.
And probably, I'm guessing lots of banks do that. And so,
I would say get your bank app. I
Yep.
think it's very cool. It's awesome. It's
Yep.
technology that I'm not so familiar with, but I just like it because it's like, I just know that it's gone through.
exactly. And that way, if you see like, someone just bought something in New York City for $500, what's this? I don't know. You know, you can do some investigation, I suppose, and then figure it out. But that way, you're always on top of it because that way, as soon as you see it, you can call your bank, you can call your credit card company and get it taken care of immediately instead of finding out in January, oh my gosh, I've been hacked.
Well, because you have to think, this is Hacker Super Bowl, right? All the hackers all over the world understand that from the day after Thanksgiving to Christmas Day, most businesses make as much money during that small
That is
block
true.
as they do the entire rest of the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so this is the time when hackers are going to be breaking in, where if they've already broken in, they're laying low, they're waiting for those credit card transactions to start processing,
Which is
and they're going
super
to
scary.
harvest all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so now
And it's
is the
mafia.
time.
We need to think that this isn't just fun little kids.
Yeah.
It's
This
serious,
is,
serious.
this is
so-
multi-trillion-dollar organized crime.
Exactly. And they
Yikes.
sell these card numbers for $5, $10.
Okay, now, does everybody have the tips? We will put them, like, I think I'll be able to come back in and
But
edit.
let's run through them real quick. The top
my,
five.
My cameraman's bossing me, you guys. Okay, number one,
Credit
use
cards?
a credit card, not a debit card. There's a difference.
Right.
Number two, use cash. Cash spends. Number three,
Alternative payment apps.
alternative payment apps like Google Pay, Apple Pay.
Those are the
PayPal.
easiest ones. I mean, honestly. And if you have an Android phone, Google Pay. If you have an iPhone, Apple Pay.
Number four, go to reputable sites, not jacked up crazy ones on the ones that I like on Facebook. Go to real things like brick and mortar or real sites that are for real at this time of the year.
Yes.
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 Number five, set your alarm on your phone or get the app from your bank that's going to let you know, hey, immediately, hey, I'm being hacked or something's going on.
And let's say 5.1 tip is just plan on getting new cards issued at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Plan that you're going to get attacked, plan that you're wanting to do that, and plan to order them. Take 15 minutes at the end of the shopping season and reorder cards.
Oh,
And if
wow,
you-
I never thought of that.
Yeah, if you anticipate it, right, then it doesn't hit you as a knee-jerk reaction where you have to, you can figure out, okay, what are all my accounts this card is tied to, what's everybody I have to call, and then you can just do that at the end and say, you know what, I'm just assuming my card was hacked this holiday season, just give me new cards, and your bank will issue
And
this
it's
one.
Okay,
so often.
Now, wasn't that a good show, you guys? Now, the show's not over, but
Show's not
I think
over.
that's a good show. Now, Chris, I feel like if you and I were at Starbucks talking, this is just honest. I feel like you're such a brainiac that after 2 minutes, I would not really be listening anymore. I'd just be thinking about my latte and acting like I'm listening. But I want to know from you. I feel like we talked for
She
2
pretty
hours.
much describes my daily time. I work.
I feel like I try to keep up
I'm
with the
the only
words
girl.
and the geniuses, and then I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about anymore. I'm gonna think
We're
about.
on a
I'm gonna think
Skype.
about ponies or balloons. Or wow, look at that light. Okay.
Shanna Parker's laughing and she gave a thumbs up.
Shit, like I feel like, but I feel like I'm listening and nodding and drinking lunch, and we.
Who doesn't
You
like ponies?
would feel like you had a great time with me and I was listening, but not true. Okay, now I want you to tell us the nitty gritty out of how many cases? 2,500.
2,500.
Born Identity, which I love. I've seen over 34 times. Okay, I love Born Identity. I want you to tell me a case that you can think of that was like super like amazing. Like no way I figured it out, but we only have like I don't know 6 minutes left. Okay, what's a case that's
Keep
like
it appropriate.
keep it appropriate? What's a case that you could say that this was like mind blowing? Like no stinking way. What's a case?
Okay, so you want me to get like a super technical one, or just like a really fun case?
Well, I mean, don't go over our
Okay.
heads.
So I'll do
She
a
likes
for
she
fun.
likes fun. She
yeah,
likes
so I'll
fun.
do a really fun case. So one time I was called on to a hotel
Yes.
resort in Honolulu. And of course
Already
my
fun.
wife,
We're already
of course
fun.
my wife Michelle, who is watching, hi baby. Of course my wife Michelle is, where are you going? I'm like, I got a case in Hawaii I have to go investigate. She's like, you mean we have a case
Yes,
in
we
Hawaii?
have. Yes.
We
I
have to
keep telling him
investigate.
he needs me to go with him to Australia.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm a needed
Yes.
ass.
So,
Continue.
Oi.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
so Michelle came with me to you see, I got me all screwed up, to Hawaii. So I'm down in the bowels of the hotel, like next to where they're doing
The
laundry.
bowels of the hotel. What's the bowels?
of the hotel?
Like the engine room.
where they're like they're doing laundry next
like the
to where
bowels.
Our house off 15th,
So I'm in the server
basement.
room, there's all these computers, and there's like the laundry room next door. And Michelle, who is with me, is like reading a book and like sipping a latte out by the pool. And she's like, oh, this forensics thing, this is awesome. I can do
Right.
this all the time. I'm like,
Who couldn't?
it isn't like that. So what we had found in the investigation is that they were hacked twice. Not only they were hacked by an attacker in China, they were attacked by a hacker in Russia. So 2 different hacks. They had a brand new firewall that cost them thousands of dollars. They didn't bother to spend any time configuring it.
He's like ruining my old pictures, but
And
whatever.
so all the firewall was doing was logging their activity. It wasn't actually preventing anything. And so it was awesome to see. I'm like, hey, you guys have logs of like the last 6 months. Here's where this guy came in. Here's where he stole. So he stole the credit card numbers from the hotel where you check in, from all of the restaurants on the property, from the gift shops, from, where like they rented jet skis and all that stuff. Just gone.
Anytime, it's basically, it was hooked to an electrical cord, and anytime they ran it through, they were stealing it.
Yes. And it's called a memory scraper, right? You have a computer system that
Yes.
watches all of these point of sale terminals
Yes.
and just says, hey, everyone get, so like when you go to a hotel and you check out, you get 1 bill. You don't get 7 bills
Right.
from the hotel restaurant
Right.
and you buy,
Yeah.
some snacky cakes or you
A tank
buy
top.
you get 1 bill. So that computer that is aggregating all that data is called an interface server. So the attackers pop the interface server and they don't have to hit all the individual point of sale terminals. They just hit that one and they just suck all that data off, ship it off to wherever they're going to use it, start using it fraudulently within days. And then
And
we
this is
get
a
calls.
hotel.
This
A
is
nice
a
hotel.
big hotel.
A nice one in Honolulu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like if I said the name,
Was it the
everyone would know
Hilton?
it.
You could just wink.
I'm not going to say Hilton. But you would know, right?
The
And if you-
Monaluki Lala.
If anyone wants to know more about it, we put out a newsletter every Friday, and it's called Stir Friday, so it's awesome. You just email Lori or put on something on Facebook. You
Yes.
email me. I will put you on Stir Friday, and you can read all about the cyber craziness every Friday.
Okay, that is, I want to be on.
And Nicole and I write
And
it.
yes, I was just saying, and it's super awesome because I'm involved. So
Do you think you get a picture of me in a trench coat with dark glasses?
yes,
Okay, as in solving
like a
cyber
little-
crimes.
and
Yes.
maybe a magnifying
I
glass.
too have solved crimes. I've worked for Private Eye, solved 5 cold cases. So I have a brain for like digging and curiosity or nosiness, what do you want to call it. Okay, now, what we want to do is we want to talk about. So you guys, this was my show today.
Oh,
Yeah.
and we have gifts.
Oh wait, that gets
Yes.
So
What we want to talk about is What She Shed is on Instagram. I now have a YouTube channel that I did not make. My guru friend made, but she's working on it. So this will be posted on YouTube as well. If you guys want to share, apparently it's all about followers or, well, I mean, the shed's self-sustaining because it's in my backyard. But it's about followers. But for sharing the tips, I'm going to have more fun things. I'm going to have the Laura Ingalls Christmas, how to make homemade gifts. That's coming this week as well. And you guys are going to be on my link too, right? To
Yes.
share it. So for the tips, you guys do share it. Now, would you like to say anything else, Nikki?
Well, I want to give you these gifts. They're gonna be super
Yay,
awesome.
gifts. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have a webcam cover, so everything you have has a camera on it.
What?
So what this does on your laptop, because there is malware, especially for parents, there's malware that your teenagers can even get on their computers that will turn their
Like a
camera
virus. It's
on
like
and
a
off.
virus that
A
goes
virus,
over the
computer virus, sorry, that will turn your camera on and off. And so what this is this goes over your camera, and you can just slide it back and forth.
When you wanna
can
use it.
Use Skype.
As
use
opposed to
Google.
the Band-Aid.
As
Yes.
opposed to
So
the
here,
sticky
that's
notes.
for you.
Scott, we've been using a Band-Aid, Scott.
This
Thank you.
is
Okay.
to keep your drinks cold, or it's
Yes.
a slap bracelet. Either one.
That works out. That's awesome.
And-
It looks like I'm going to take my blood pressure is what it looks like. Okay.
And we have a deck of cards for
I got
you.
blood pressure. Okay.
From our team, which is the Cyber Threat Analysis Team. See, it says CTAC. Which
Yes.
has all these cybersecurity terms that we've been like throwing around and talking about that Nicole translates for me.
Yeah.
They're all written here with definitions. So you can play poker and you can learn about cybersecurity.
Okay, it's
all
like
at the same
Trivial
time.
Pursuit, but with its like Born Identity Trivial Pursuit.
Yes. It's
Okay,
exactly
that's
what
so
it
the name
is.
of your company's Nuix.
Nuix?
If do we need to find you or no? You're working for bigger entities. It's not like if you're beyond LifeLock. You're basically it's over my head what you're doing.
So we do.
You're over my head what you do.
To simplify it in what I tell people when they ask what company I work for, because I work from home now for Nuix, and we do 3 things. 1, we go investigate people that got hacked,
Boom.
companies that got
Sign
hacked.
me up.
So that's investigation part. 2, we do what's called penetration testing or pen testing, where people hire us to hack them essentially and tell them where their vulnerabilities are. What's our word to say? Vulnerability.
Would it be
to say.
rich people that's asking you to do that?
Companies.
Oh, okay, companies. Okay.
Like,
Okay. companies.
hotels.
Yes.
We'll say,
Got it.
come and beat us up.
Okay.
Right.
If it's Oprah in Hawaii, call me.
Yeah,
okay,
right?
Go ahead.
So and then find out where they're vulnerable, how to fix it, things like that. And 3, we teach. So I used to be a teacher, and I help with this aspect a lot. And so we teach.
Don't say which law enforcement agencies.
Oh,
but
okay.
law
We teach
enforcement.
law enforcement agencies, and we teach different cities, different companies on different aspects, like their point of sale systems, like
Right.
you know.
You're educating the bigger public. Hey, what you just did with
how to-
us.
yes.
But here, you heard it first on the Lori Kroh What She Said show.
Yeah. All about.
Scott, the cameraman. How are we on the time?
23 minutes.
23 minutes. That's an awesome record. Now, how about the hearts? What about the hearts? So how are we on the hearts?
We've got a lot of hearts. I don't know the count on them, but we've had a lot of thumbs up, a lot of
Yay!
hearts.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
guys, the bottom line is we don't want you to be hacked. Be smart. Use a credit card, not a debit card. Spend cash, and follow my show this week to find out how to make gifts.
And then there's the name of the company. Google it up if you are
It's
listening.
Nuix.com.
My cameraman has one of his own.
Oh, and the hearts are going crazy now.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Nuix,
So look them up if you are an
Look 'em
enterprise
up.
client or somebody that needs
And you
help.
guys, for a limited time, for the next 2 weeks, if you have a situation, okay, and you need to call me, you can direct message me through that. You can call me. If you think you've been hacked or you just want to talk about, I don't know, situation or issues, call me. We'll try to solve the crime. I'll try to do it on my own first. And if it's above my head, then we'll call back.
And congratulations, this is your most liked video yet.
Woo! It's my most liked video. Woo! Party! Okay, so anyway. All right, you guys, happy Thanksgiving.
You
Happy
too.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Christmas.
Yes.
And
Happy Pigmas.
Festivus. I mean, is it Festivus?
No, it's
No,
Pigmas.
Pigmas.
I watched
Oh,
your
Pigmas
show.
is- oh my gosh.
With the pig.
Pigmas, yes! Oh, Chris. Okay, happy Pigmas. I'm going to be seeing them soon too with the pig. With the
Yep.
little, I'm bringing the pig a little Santa hat. Okay,
So cute.
thanks you guys for watching. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Thanks
What
for
she
having us
said.
on.
Thanks for having us on.
Bye. Thanks for watching What She Said.